In the video that follows, a hospital nurse makes the decision to venture into a room that many of her colleagues, both doctors and nurses alike, are too frightened to enter. The room sits on a floor that has long been the subject of haunting rumors. Whether those rumors hold any truth is unclear, but based on what the camera picked up, there may genuinely be something unsettling taking place on that floor. On March 9th, 2021, a nurse by the name of Sinead Richardson makes her way to this very floor. Tucked away up there is a sealed-off room that, for reasons nobody seems to explain, has been kept inaccessible. One night, Sinead resolves to go inside. She managed to get in by convincing a custodian to unlock the door for her, but as it turned out, that was a decision she would come to regret. See for yourself.
So everybody wants to see what's behind the door, so I'm back and I'm gonna show you what's finally behind this door, okay? Alright, so one more time, this is everything that's wrote on the door behind this door in this hospital, and it's been unlocked, so I'm gonna go inside. I'm scared.
It goes by fast, so in case you didn't catch it, here it is one more time. It becomes clear why Sinead slammed that door shut so suddenly, acting on pure instinct. She recoiled the moment she spotted what appeared to be a face gazing back at her from across the room. The disembodied head seemed to hover completely still, though some viewers insist they can detect a slight movement if they look closely enough. Sinead wasn't entirely certain what she had encountered, but whatever it was, it triggered an immediate need to get out of there. It was only once she reviewed the footage afterward that she fully grasped what she'd seen. Details beyond that remain scarce, and with no follow-up information available, this strange encounter continues to be an open question. A man had just settled into a new apartment alongside his dog, Jackson. Over time, he began picking up on some unsettling things going on around the place. On one particular occasion, Jackson became completely fixated on an open closet and simply wouldn't take his eyes off it. Sensing something was off, the man pulled out his phone and started recording "Keep Your Eyes Peeled."
Jackson is like laser ass focused on this right now. He won't, like, you alright? I know. I think something's wrong. I don't know. I hear noises, but I'm not even sure. Are you fucking kidding me right now? There is no way that just happened. There is no way that just happened. There is no way.
While the camera was rolling, an object launched itself off a shelf with no explanation, leaving the man completely stunned. Not long after, Jackson turned his attention to a nearby door and started going wild. See for yourself what unfolded next.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Jackson. Jackson. What's wrong? Just banging on stuff. What the fuck?
The door swung shut on its own with absolutely no one anywhere close to it. After everything he just witnessed, the man became convinced he was dealing with a haunted apartment, with no rational explanation and a growing sense of dread. He chose to break his lease and get out as quickly as he could.
No bajen los pies. Ahí era la buena.
No, bajé los pies.
Footage was uploaded by a bunch of friends who were hanging around a swing set at the edge of a forest. One of them has the camera rolling while the rest mess around, giving the swing a push and cracking each other up. There's nothing off about the scene, at least that's how it seems at first. All eyes are on the swing. Nobody thinks to glance behind them, but lurking at the tree line, something is already there. A pale, ghostly figure can be spotted staring in their direction. It doesn't budge, it doesn't make a sound, it simply remains there, half swallowed by the shadows, towering and eerily motionless. The group keeps laughing, completely oblivious to what's behind them. Then the figure moves. Gradually, it begins to pull itself upright. As it rises, its silhouette comes into focus, long, gaunt, and vaguely human. But something about it is just wrong. And then it turns and walks off into the darkness. A couple behind the YouTube channel Restless Spirit Paranormal made their way to the notoriously haunted Monroe House in Hartford City, Indiana, while conducting their investigation. Something deeply unsettling unfolded as the pair were performing a ritual inside the property. A stick light sitting on the table began moving entirely on its own.
Kind of sound like. Wait, what did it move?
That was the trip wire just moved.
And my leg is on it, but I'm not moving.
I just heard something slide across that
It
table.
was the trip wire, just I saw it.
And
Fly
we weren't
over and
moving.
move.
And we weren't
Nothing
moving.
else moved, it just moved.
Kind of sound like. Kind of sound like. Wait, what did it move?
That was the trip.
Paranormal investigators frequently face accusations of setting these moments up ahead of time, carefully choreographing their reactions, but the movement here looked anything but rehearsed. The couple themselves appeared genuinely startled by what they witnessed. Some viewers were convinced the light had been disturbed by a spirit said to inhabit the house. Others weren't so sure, wondering whether there might be a perfectly rational explanation behind it. So, what do you think actually made that stick light shift? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. On December 1st, 2024, a woman named Brandy films her dog acting oddly inside her bedroom. It isn't the first time this has occurred, but the behavior only began after strange noises started coming from her son's room, which sits on the floor directly above. Brandy's dog Pixie will occasionally wander into the bedroom and stare up at the ceiling, as though she can sense something happening up there. At one point, Brandy manages to catch it on video. See for yourself what she recorded.
Okay, someone told me next time it happens to make sure the fan is off. I have had the fan off because they thought maybe it was the fan making him want to jump up there. Fan is off and he's hearing something. And now he's going crazy. You hear something, Papa? What is up there? What's up there, Bubby? Like, he runs and jumps on the bed to try to get up to the ceiling. And like I said, that's where the attic is. And that's where, at nighttime.
The dog can be seen jumping repeatedly, completely fixated on a spot on the ceiling. A few nights later, Brandy is alone at home and notices a hole in the ceiling. And while she's doing her makeup, she starts to hear something that sends a chill down your spine. Pay close attention to what unfolds.
Sitting here getting ready, and I keep hearing my name, and my daughter's not home. But I'm gonna record it and see if you guys can hear it. And I heard something in the attic too, and I have a freaking hole in my ceiling now. But I'm not gonna stop recording. I wanna freaking cry right now. Oh, I have the filter on. I didn't even freaking know it. I thought I took the filter off. Whatever, I'm not. Please tell me you guys heard that. Guys, my daughter's not even home. I fucking told you guys. I told you there's a mimic here. I really hope I got that. My daughter's not even home. She's at her friend's house. She went to the ballet practice with her friend. Let me show you guys. And then I heard this loud boom in the attic earlier. And let me show you guys something. I'm not going to stop the camera, but look at that. Let's see. Look at that. Doesn't that look like a freaking footprint? There's no totes or nothing over my room. I really hope I got that. I'm going out and I literally don't even want to leave my room now. I'm not even joking. Somebody's supposed to come by this week and cleanse my house for me. I really hope that they show up.
A faint whisper saying mom is heard, despite Brandy being the only person in the house, and what appears to be an eerie, mist-like face becomes visible in the mirror behind her as she glances over her shoulder. On top of that, many viewers noted that as she stands up and turns around, a dark shadow-like figure seems to be faintly visible standing right behind her. As the days continue, things inside the house only appear to deteriorate. Late one night, Brandy is home with her daughter while her son is out at a party when strange sounds begin emanating from his room, the one upstairs, that consistently draws the dog's attention. She pulls out her phone to record, and this is what the camera picked up.
And he is gone. He's not home. He's at a party. Yeah, I know I look like shit. I don't care. I just got woken up. There's been a mimic here for a couple weeks. When my daughter's not here, I hear her say my name and she's not there. I ignore it because I know it's a mimic. I have seen it on here. My daughter's home, but my son's not home. My son is the only one that lives upstairs. The only one upstairs. All night since he's been gone, I keep hearing like the door close. Like it'll just shut. But sorry. So anyway, my son's not home, but I keep hearing the door shut. But there's nobody up there. There's nobody up there. I'm gonna see if I could try to. And let me take you guys. I'll take you guys up there and show you there's nobody up there. But let's see if we can catch it. I'm so scared. Normally I don't get scared, but hearing the door close like a freaking human is up there, and I already went up there once and I checked and nobody or nothing was up there. So I went up there and I checked all the rooms and in the attic and there's nobody up there, but I keep hearing his bedroom door close or like somebody's walking up there, but he's not here. I don't know what my dog's barking at. But I hope we catch it on camera because this is freaking creeping me out. I'm at the stairs right now. Did you hear that? It sounds like somebody's walking up there. Bro, my fucking eyes are watering. This is scaring me. Hold on. Oh my god, as soon as I stopped it, I heard it. Fucking shit. I know you guys heard that. I hope I caught that. Did you hear it? Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna turn. Look, nobody's up here. Oh my god. Look at his door is closed. Oh my god. Nope. I gotta tell my daughter, boo boo. Oh my God. There's water in my eyes. Oh my God. Why does it sound like, and I recorded it. It sounds like somebody's in your brother's room. And I went up there to show that the door was closed. Tell me why his door opened when I went up there. I swear. I ran down here by myself. I'm recording it. Come up there with me to show them nobody's here. Oh my God. That made my eyes water, you guys. I showed it on camera. My son is not home. I'm not going to stop the recording just so I can show you guys.
That's scary.
I know, I ran down here.
Nobody's here besides
I ran down here so fast. Okay. Oh my God, that scared me. And it sounds like somebody's walking around up there, and I got it on recording. Yes, hold me. Look at his door's moving. Okay, we're gonna go up there and I'm gonna show you guys nobody is in his room. He is not here. Turn your flashlight on. Oh my God. Hurry up and come up here so you can point it to show nobody's in the room. Look. Look. Nobody's in here. Nobody.
Look, even Pixie.
You guys literally, you seen that in real time with me. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Oh no. I told you guys. And there's been that mimic. And my daughter has heard it when I'm not here. It says my name, or it says her name in my voice when I'm not here. It says my name in her voice when I'm not here. Or when she's not here. And now that's happening. Look at my dog. Oh, fuck no, fuck no. Fuck no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not coming under the side of the house.
Oh my God. After hearing those unsettling sounds coming from her son's room, she heads upstairs and his door suddenly swings open on its own, sending Brandy into a panic. She rushes back downstairs to get her daughter, and the two of them go up to investigate together, finding absolutely no one inside. Even more disturbing, after Brandy steps out of the room, you can clearly hear the latch click as the door shuts itself. Then, while the two of them are standing just outside talking, the door swings open on its own a second time, frightening them both. Brandy believes the paranormal activity was triggered by her sister, who had used a Ouija board in that very room before moving out, essentially leaving the rest of the family to deal with whatever she stirred up. But hopefully we get Granny's ghost. An Italian man by the name of Simone recently paid a visit to his grandmother, who confided in him that she'd been dealing with a series of deeply unsettling and unexplainable events around her home. Furniture and objects had apparently been shifting on their own. Windows would fly open without cause. The television would switch itself on, and eerie voices seemed to echo throughout the entire house. Despite hearing all of this, Simone couldn't quite bring himself to believe it, wondering if perhaps his grandmother's mind was simply playing tricks on her. He decided the best way to get to the bottom of it was to spend a night at her place while she was away, and see if anything unusual actually happened. He wasn't expecting much at all, but what he ended up recording would make him deeply regret ever agreeing to stay.
Allora, sono a casa di mia nonna. Allora, non so se sentite, praticamente sono a casa di mia nonna da solo. E non so se sentite, ci sono un sacco di rumori che vengono da di sopra. Qui e lì. Allora. Vabbè, buio pesto. No, vabbè, la luce non va.
Strangely, the lights on the upper floor have stopped working entirely, despite Simone saying everything was functioning perfectly earlier that same day. He grabs a flashlight and heads upstairs to try and track down the source of the odd noises he keeps hearing.
Queste cose mai. A parte che c'è un gran rumore di vento e mi sto cagando in mano solo per quello. E quindi... Adesso sembra che ha smesso tutto quanto. Io non so proprio, nel senso, ho paura. Mi sono messo la torcia in bocca come nei film, ma non viene bene uguale, quindi ragazzi mi sto cagando in mano. Sempre dalla finestra da sola. Non va bene. No vabbè, no vabbè.
With nobody else in the house, Simone watches in disbelief as both a window and a closet door swing open completely on their own. It's at this moment that the reality of his grandmother's warnings begins to sink in, and the fear sets in far harder than he ever anticipated.
Io sono terrorizzato, ma proprio nel... Direi che vado via, perché nei film consiglio sempre questa cosa qua, quindi non sono più stupido. Ti giuro, vi giuro, non riesco neanche a parlare oggi perché fatica. No vabbè, aspetta. Oh no, vabbè, il letto è fatto. Il letto... Gli sportelli sono aperti. E il letto... Cioè, prima il letto non era così. Era... Non ho la voce, ve lo giuro. Non ho la voce. No, ora vado. Mi sembra il caso di proseguire con questa cosa, non so come. Ok, il vaso non era lì. Il vaso non era lì. Questo vaso non era. Era qualche scalino più giovane, non era qui. Ok. No.
The chandelier begins swaying by itself with no apparent explanation. By now, Simone has had more than enough and is ready to walk out the door, but a noise from upstairs pulls him back. When he gets up there, he finds the bedding has been disturbed, and every single cabinet door is hanging wide open. He's completely done and just wants out, but then he notices a vase that had been sitting beside the staircase has somehow relocated itself to the very top of the stairs. And then, for just a brief moment, a dark, shadowy shape appears to move toward him as he steps through the doorway into his grandparents' room, sending him fleeing from the house in a panic. Several months down the line, Simone comes to believe the likely source of all the paranormal activity was an old scarf his grandmother had won at a church raffle, and once she got rid of it, every single strange occurrence in the house stopped completely. This footage was posted to Reddit by the user shown on screen. A young woman was recording a TikTok dance video inside her house when something deeply unsettling unfolded just behind her, completely unbeknownst to her. Keep your eyes peeled. The closet door at her back gradually creeps open just a crack, and something slips out from inside before vanishing to the opposite side of the room. So what do you make of that? Is this something that defies rational explanation, or is there a perfectly logical reason behind it? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Here's the rewritten narration. This one is straight up eerie. A janitor working the night shift at a security building in Arizona has been dealing with a series of deeply unsettling experiences while doing his job. On one occasion, while he was cleaning the restrooms, several stall doors slammed shut one after another despite the fact that he was the only person in there. He's also talked about an overwhelming sense of a dark, oppressive presence whenever he passed through certain areas of the building. Then, not long ago, a female coworker refused to go up to a particular floor alone late at night. Miguel offered to accompany her, but the moment they stepped off the elevator onto the 7th floor, a thunderous banging sound stopped them both dead in their tracks. When they realized it was a door slamming, Miguel wasted no time pulling out his phone. See exactly what he managed to record. He held his position, peering down the long corridor ahead, when a dark, shadowy figure suddenly came into view. It seemed to hesitate for just a moment before retreating almost as if it sensed Miguel's reaction. The sight of that silhouette nearly sent both of them to their knees as it vanished back around the corner. No rattling vents, no heavy machinery, and barely a soul on that entire floor, which leaves one burning question. Just what did Miguel's camera actually catch? A family known for posting feel-good content online suddenly shared something far more disturbing with their followers. The mother explained that for quite a while she, her husband, and a neighbor had all been hearing unexplained movement coming from above their apartment. They brought it up with their landlord, but he brushed it off and told them it was nothing to worry about. That all changed the moment he laid eyes on this. The landlord's reaction was one of pure shock as he watched what appeared to be the hatch moving on its own, and it became instantly clear that this could no longer be dismissed. They made the decision right then and there to go up and find out what had been hiding above them.
When I start running, if you're in my way, I'm gonna have to catch you.
Up there. Just be like, hello. No, that was...
No, del otro lado. Ahora sí. No, que el marco se está cayendo.
No, that's too heavy.
What they found stopped everyone cold a blanket and a pillow, unmistakable proof that someone had been secretly living in that space the whole time. The landlord moved quickly to seal off the area and cut off any possibility of it happening again, but the situation left behind questions that nobody could shake. Who was the person hiding up there? And just how long had they been concealed right above this family's heads without anyone knowing? Nobody has the answers yet. A woman going through security footage at her workplace stumbled upon something she couldn't quite explain. Take a good look at what the camera managed to record. A cart packed with merchandise begins drifting away from where it had been sitting, completely on its own. The cart had been positioned right up against the wall, with barely any room between them, not nearly enough for a person to hide back there and give it a shove without showing up on the footage. That one detail was enough to send the clip viral, setting off a wave of online debate. There are those who think the camera may have inadvertently documented something that science can't easily explain. On the other side, skeptics point to more grounded explanations: faulty wheels, a slightly angled floor, or the cart simply building up enough momentum over time to roll away on its own. So where do you stand on it? Our next clip brings us down to Mexico, where a man says his close friend took his own life inside his home. Ever since, the neighbors have been reporting unsettling sounds coming from the house, which has sat empty ever since. So he makes the decision to head inside and see what's going on, not just once, but on 2 separate occasions. We'll be walking you through both visits right here, and judging by what was captured, it seems like his friend never really left.
Toño, soy yo. ¿Está bien? Hey. Loco. Soy Javier, boludo. Che, loco, ¿sos vos? Ya fue, boludo. Vine a ver qué onda, ¿cómo andás? ¿Estás bien? Che, loco, si sos vos, salí. ¿Escuchan eso? Toño. ¡Madre que lo parió!
From the moment he steps inside on that first visit, something feels off. He's clearly on edge, but pushes forward as mysterious knocking sounds begin to bounce around the walls. When he moves toward his friend's old bedroom, the door suddenly slams shut and won't budge. He forces it open with a kick, and there, right where his friend died, stands a dark, shadowy figure. He stumbles backward into the living room, rattled. But did you catch that? In the darkness, a door swings open all on its own. He keeps the camera rolling, and then a pair of glowing eyes lock directly onto him. The second he realizes what he's looking at, he bolts straight out of the house. He went home that night shaken to his core, but when neighbors continued coming forward with complaints, he felt compelled to go back one final time. What his camera picked up next makes that first visit look like nothing.
cosa que yo partí. Donde encontré a un amigo. Antonio, quita la pieza, se siente una carga de yo. ¡Ey! Mierda. Linterna. ¿Qué pasó? ¡Ey! ¡Ey! ¿Quién anda ahí? Mierda. ¡Hola! ¿Qué mierda anda ahí, la concha de su madre?
He sets up a stationary camera inside the home, and here's what it recorded. That second trip would turn out to be the very last time he ever walked through that door. His friend's presence is still rooted in that place, heavy, undeniable, and impossible to ignore. Crouched in the bathroom, he listens as doors begin opening and slamming shut one after another, each one more chilling than the one before. Then, that same dark figure reappears, drifting through the house like it belongs there. This is almost certainly the most terrifying experience of his entire life. A user by the name of Bianca5150 thinks she may have accidentally filmed a ghost. Bianca is the proud owner of multiple dogs who are generally well-mannered, but lately she'd been noticing that every time she steps out for a couple of hours, she returns to find her home completely trashed. Her first assumption was that one of her dogs was responsible for the destruction. Wanting to get to the bottom of it, she decided to place cameras throughout the house. What one of those cameras ended up capturing, though, was something she never could have anticipated. Shortly after 6 in the evening, Bianca got a motion alert on her phone and pulled up the live feed to check things out. Here's the footage that left her speechless. Rather than spotting one of her dogs, the camera had picked up what looks like a tall, dark shadow moving through the hallway. According to Bianca, nobody should have been inside that house except the dogs at that point in time. What makes this even harder to explain is that if an intruder had actually broken in, the dogs almost certainly would have gone wild barking, and the cameras would have caught someone entering or leaving, but there was absolutely none of that. All of this has pushed Bianca toward one unsettling conclusion: her house might be haunted, so maybe her dogs were never the ones making the mess to begin with. Whatever this thing is, it raises a whole lot of questions. In November 2011, a YouTuber going by Tim John Ben uploaded footage of himself and 2 companions as they explored an abandoned home with a deeply disturbing history.
Tim, me and 2 of my friends, we're gonna go see a house that we've been hearing about for the past year. Ghostbusters! Oh yeah! And and we're about there like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and We're gonna go see it's in the back of the woods somewhere, and we're gonna try to find it. And the legend has it that there are satanic worshippers that go.
What sets this particular exploration apart from the flood of staged content online is that it stands as one of the genuinely authentic experiences ever captured in this genre. As they pushed deeper into the property, the atmosphere grew increasingly uneasy, and unbeknownst to them, their presence was drawing the attention of actual members of the very cult they had been dreading.
Whoa, keep on going.
Whoa, okay. Whoa, whoa. John, what degree are you stepping on?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well.
This photos in here is crazy. Dude, look at this stuff. Who writes that?
Look at the door, guys. John, come over here.
I'll do it. Knock, knock. Ah! What? Oh! What? Where's John?
John. John. John, come on, man.
Dude, come on! I'll relax. You guys are so tight.
John, grow up, dude.
As unsettling as the satanic writings on the walls were, nothing could have braced anyone for what was lurking below them in the basement.
We gotta go down there. Okay, you guys wanna go? You're going first. Okay, just go. John, you wanna go?
Yeah, I'll go.
That was terrible.
The moment they stepped down there, Tim, behind the camera, was overwhelmed by the overpowering stench of dried blood, a grim remnant of some kind of ritual carried out in that space.
What? What? What is that? John, what is that?
Let's go. Let's check this out.
Dude, that smells really bad.
It's like, get the bit
Guys, this smells terrible. I think guys, I'm gonna throw up. Guys, we need to go. I gotta puke. Hey, God.
Hey.
Yeah, guys, we gotta go, man. We gotta go.
Whoa.
Oh my God! Go! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, the police are open. Okay, we gotta go. The door's locked.
Get open!
There's scratches. Go.
Help! Help!
What's happening?
Get off!
What's going on? Hang on. What's... John?
They ultimately fled without John, leaving him behind as something came at him in the dark, though they did eventually reach safety. John, however, was never quite the same person after whatever he encountered down there that night.
It's fine.
John.
Let's go home.
John. John.
Leave me alone.
Jack-o'-lantern, a returning face on this channel who hails from England, has been capturing some seriously unsettling poltergeist activity in his home, a property that dates back to the 1920s, though the land itself carries an even older and darker history. Jack eventually uncovered that during the 1700s, a cluster of small cottages occupied that same ground, one of which reportedly belonged to a couple by the names of Edith and Jim Lancaster. That discovery took on an eerie new dimension when the name Edith showed up clearly during one of Jack's spirit box sessions not long before. Adding another layer to all of this, Jack has a habit of collecting antique objects tied to the occult and paranormal, and many who follow his story believe those items may be intensifying whatever is happening inside those walls. Then on May 26th, 2026, Jack posted new footage that appeared to show things ramping up to a whole new level. Judge for yourself what you're about to see.
Are you playing up again? At something past 7? The hell? I've literally got my suit ready to go. That's how early it is in the morning. What is it, boys? They always start acting up the clown when there's something about to go on. And they've been hitting at me legs to try and get me to... What the hell? Are you hearing this? Just banging? I would appreciate it if whatever is going on in here, you stop trying to destroy my things. What do you want? You can see something. I know you can. You can, can't you? That's moving. Well, I think it got banged. What do you want? Give it a break. Boys, stop fighting. See, they don't do this. Something's upset them. What is it, boys? Come on. Oh, wow. Here we go with the coldness. The corridor's freezing. Most importantly, I have to get ready and go out for the day. What do you want? Is this Edith? The lady who's came through before? Hello? Where are you? Hello? What do you want? Are you in here? Show yourself. There's nobody here, see.
Right from the opening seconds, something feels off. Jack draws attention to his cats, who are visibly unsettled, moving restlessly around the room as though tracking something invisible. Then the sounds start strange, unexplained noises drifting through the house. Without warning, a candle resting on a shelf jerks sharply sideways with nobody anywhere near it. And then, just minutes after that, things take an even more alarming turn when Jack's heavy front door flies wide open on its own. He rushes outside immediately, scanning the street, the entrance, and the surrounding area, and finds absolutely nobody there. So, is this simply one more strange chapter in the life of an old and restless house? Or is something far more deliberate stirring inside it? This woman pulls night shifts at a 911 dispatch center, and she began noticing things she simply couldn't account for. The late hours, the deserted corridors, the dead silence between incoming calls, that's when it all began. And once it did, there was no stopping it. See for yourself.
Again. Poulter's acting up as we're now referring to her. Maybe it's somebody. I don't know. Nobody should be here. There's literally no one here.
Calls coming in with nobody on the line, drawers gliding open on their own. And sometimes in the stillness, she'd hear something breathe her name. What really gets under my skin though is the timing. Every single one of these incidents kicked off the very same day her supervisor announced the office would be relocating to a different building. Almost as if whatever was lurking in there had been listening to that announcement and flat out refused to leave. Then one night while she's recording, she catches something standing in the doorway of the break room. Pay close attention to what happens next.
Y'all have been following my polter diaries here lately. So I'm pretty sure there's something standing in the doorway to the break room. Am I crazy, or is that somebody standing there? I don't...
She just freezes, locks her eyes on it, trying to convince herself she isn't seeing what she clearly thinks she's seeing. After the footage went online, commenters warned her that whatever it was, she should avoid acknowledging it. Don't engage with it at all. Her supervisor eventually made sure she was never left alone in that building, but even that precaution couldn't silence the sounds. No trespasser was ever identified. No explanation was ever offered. So was it just an exhausted mind logging too many overnight hours? Or is that building still clinging to something left behind by every desperate voice that ever called for help from within those walls? This is Lou Rock, a content creator who posted a deeply unsettling video to his channel back in August 2018. Over the course of 8 years, his work has centered on venturing into abandoned structures and locations rumored to carry some kind of paranormal energy. He captures strange moments on film, shares his own first-hand impressions, and digs into the histories attached to these forgotten places. Lou once approached all of it with a healthy dose of skepticism, but over time he's come around to the idea that what lies beyond death might be far more complex than most of us ever consider. In this particular episode, Lou and his friend Noah set out to explore an abandoned house carrying a genuinely dark history. This was no ordinary derelict property. Unconfirmed accounts suggest the building once functioned as a covert hideout for Hell's Angels Motorcycle Club members. The story goes that 3 of them took shelter there, following involvement in serious criminal activity, before eventually being caught by authorities. After that, the place was simply left to rot. When Lou and Noah showed up, they both sensed something off about the atmosphere almost immediately, yet they pushed forward and kept the camera rolling. Lou commented on how completely the vegetation had swallowed the outside of the building, deepening that feeling of total isolation. Moving through the interior, the two began noticing a series of unsettling details, carpets laid out across the floor as though someone had been sleeping on them recently, and a hole punched through the ceiling that looked like it might have served as a stash spot. Everything about the place screamed that someone had once been hiding here. Noah also flagged old vinyl sleeves, shredded blankets, and various other remnants that gave the whole space an unmistakably biker-era atmosphere, like it had been frozen mid-moment. Around 3 in the morning, they made the call to check out the basement. The second they headed down the stairs, a powerful smell of mold and decay hit them hard.
Is that the only place we haven't seen yet?
Yeah, this is pretty much it. Let's see, hopefully we find some treasure down here.
What's this, dude? Look above you.
Thief or something.
You ever want to take anything from these places?
Yo, dude.
What?
Yo, dude. What? There's some freaking guy down here.
What do you mean there's some guy down there?
There's a fucking guy right here.
He's up.
There's a fucking guy right here.
What the?
What the? Is this guy dead?
Look at the fucking ground. Needle right there.
Is this guy fucking dead?
Dude, is he fucking dead? Yeah, I got my knife.
It don't look like he's breathing. Dude, we gotta call the ambulance. Bud? Hey, Bud? Dude, is that vomit in his mouth?
Dude, he's... Oh shit, he's drooling.
Is that vomit on his
I
mouth?
don't know.
Hey, Bud? Hey. Hey, Bud, you alright? Hey, Hey, buddy. Hey, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah? You okay? Don't do any sudden movements here. Oh, yeah?
Oh, shit. Oh, dude, let's get out of here, bro.
You alright, dude? Yo, man,
Dude.
I'm trying to help you here.
Dude, I'm getting ready to bounce.
I'm trying to help you out here, bro. Back up. I swear I'll kill you right here. Listen, you alright?
Dude!
Dude, I'll fucking the shit out of you, bro. Back the fuck up off of me, dude. Back the fuck up. I swear I'll kick you right in your face. Oh, yeah? You're gonna pull something out on me? I got something right here.
Dude, let's fucking bounce, bro.
Back there. I'll fucking kick you right in your
Let's just freaking get out of here. Dude, fucking leave him. Dude.
Yo, stay the fuck down.
Stay the fuck down there.
Get in the car, bro. Go get in the car.
Yeah, let's get out of here, bro.
Go get in the car. I need a light. Yo, get the light. I need the light.
Take your camera.
Get the fuck back, dude. Just get the back. I'll kick you right in your face.
Dude,
I need a light. Yo, I got you on camera, dude. You do something, you're going to jail. I'm letting you know. Back the fuck up. I'm leaving, dude. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. I'll kick you right in your face.
You good, bro?
I'm good.
Dude.
Get the fuck back. Yeah, it's funny? You think it's funny? Think it's funny? Think I'm fucking with you? Dude, go and get the fucking car running. If I let him get up the fucking stairs. You got the car? Get the car running, bro.
That's when they spotted a man stretched out on the floor. A used medical instrument lay close by. He looked unconscious at first glance, but then they could see his chest rising and falling. Lou and Noah were immediately gripped with panic, while they were still trying to figure out whether to call for help or step in themselves. They noticed a lit cigarette was actively burning through the man's clothes. When they attempted to rouse him, he jolted awake and his behavior turned chaotic almost instantly. His words came out garbled, his demeanor shifted into something aggressive, and he began issuing threats while closing the distance between them. Recognizing that things had just crossed into genuinely dangerous territory, Lou and Noah wasted no time. They bolted up the stairs and got out of that house as quickly as their legs would carry them. They made it to their car and sped off, having just barely sidestepped what could have escalated into something much worse. What had begun as another standard urban exploration had spiraled into something deeply frightening and potentially life-threatening. It stands as a sobering wake-up call. These abandoned spaces might hold a certain undeniable fascination, but the dangers they carry are very real, because sometimes, behind those crumbling walls, it isn't just the ghosts of the past you have to worry about, it's the very much alive threats that might be lurking there right now. This next clip has been making serious waves online, and it's not hard to see why. At the center of it all is a deeply unsettling woman caught on camera inside a derelict warehouse. The footage follows a man as he wanders through the long abandoned structure, and at some point during his exploration, he comes face to face with a woman whose behavior immediately sets off alarm bells. He doesn't hesitate, he pulls out his phone and starts filming right then and there. What the camera captures is genuinely disturbing. Her erratic movements and haunting facial expression create an atmosphere that's difficult to shake, and plenty of viewers have said they felt a cold chill run through them just watching it. That said, not everyone is convinced this is the real deal. A large portion of the online community has raised serious doubts about whether the footage is even authentic. The speculation has been running wild ever since. Some people are convinced the woman is a spirit of some kind, while others believe she may be a real person dealing with a severe mental illness. No one has been able to pin down who she actually is, but what's undeniable is that this video has taken the internet by storm and shows no signs of slowing down. So where do you land on this one? Our next clip comes from a YouTuber who goes by the name Beg John. and he uploaded this unsettling footage to his channel back in May of 2008. In the opening segment, we watch him moving through his home, apparently in the middle of some kind of blessing ritual in the kitchen, and that's right around the point where things start getting genuinely disturbing. Without any warning, several objects are suddenly hurled across the room as though thrown by something completely unseen. On top of that, the camera begins producing strange crackling static sounds that seem to ratchet up the tension even further. The man behind the camera is visibly trembling and breathing hard, and it's pretty obvious he's not putting on an act. Then, the footage cuts abruptly, but the story isn't over. A follow-up video was posted shortly afterward, this one featuring footage from a fixed camera set up inside that very same kitchen, and what it recorded is genuinely unsettling. If you pay close attention, a faint ghostly shape appears to drift across the kitchen before disappearing completely. It's the kind of thing you'd miss in a blink, but once you know what to look for, it's hard to unsee. Now, the flying objects in the earlier clip could certainly have been rigged up with fishing line, or someone working just off frame. And when it comes to the apparition in the second video, skeptics might point to post-production editing, or simply blame visual compression artifacts. That said, if this whole thing was faked in 2008, pulling it off would have taken a real amount of effort and technical know, given how limited the available tools were back then. So where do you land on this one? Was Bag John genuinely dealing with some kind of paranormal disruption during a home blessing? Or is there a more rational explanation lurking behind the curtain? Either way, this one has earned its place among the most talked about poltergeist videos from YouTube's early era. The next chilling story comes from a YouTube channel called Team Motion, a crew well known for putting out energetic, no-holds-barred content that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. The date is November 23rd, 2024, and in this particular video, a handful of young adventurers decide to push their way into a rundown, seemingly vacant structure tucked inside an urban area. Right from the start, they throw out the possibility that the place might be tied to illegal activity, moving through it with equal parts fascination and nerves. They take their time documenting everything around them: shattered windows, heaps of garbage, discarded needles, and unmistakable evidence of years of abandonment, all while keeping their eyes peeled for booby traps, asbestos, and whatever else might be lurking.
What the fuck is that? Oh, this nigga got a laser pointer. What the f? Yep. Take that, bro. This John dripping. That's what I'm saying. Put your hood on. Basketball? Luke, it's a fresh basketball. That's a fresh wall. Y'all going there? It's a basketball right there. I can't even see that bitch. This John dripping like a motherfucker. It better not be no nigga in here. It stink. It's hella basketballs. I know it's hella in there. Hell, it stink to the motherfucker. It stink. Yeah, right there. Yeah, we put my ID real quick. Put the camera right there. Put the camera right there. Nah, let's watch this. Shit full. Watch out. It's hella shit full. All these basketballs. This shit on the floor. He turned around instant. What fuck that basketball? We gone. This shit stinking, bro. Oh God, this shit. Yeah, let's leave this shit alone. We could eat in here. Alright, come on. Push up. I ain't gonna, I'm not sitting down. I'm just gonna eat walking. What a hooping part does of the gym? This not no gym. Oh, this a kid gym.
Pressing further into the building, they're greeted by dripping ceilings, the stench of decay, and a bathroom so foul it's obvious no one has used it correctly in a very long time. Somehow though, they stumble upon an old gym space and, in a surprising turn, decide to sit down and eat.
What? I don't know what it is. What is this? What's in the top left? Same as his best friend. We put his ass all out. Oh, that was shit. Whoever wrote this is a B word. I know it's lame females that be in here. What is this? I just say asbestos, boy. You better watch out. Open that jam. Someone said disease in there. That jam live for sure. Yeah.
Have a supplies in there.
Look, that's a caution. You crazy. Open that jam. That jam was They got bleach right there? Damn, this long ass shit.
Once they've wrapped up their snack, a strange sound starts echoing from somewhere down the hallway. They muster up the courage to go check it out, but whatever made the noise is long gone. Continuing their exploration, they round a corner and find walls absolutely covered in graffiti, a clear sign that this place has had visitors, and not too long ago either.
Trying to do some parkour for the video? Let's go. Someone, that's that still water, boy. Would y'all hop in there for $10,000? 10,000. Would you hop in there? Jump down there, nigga. Someone, let's go to the pool room. Who's stopping? You don't know how to carry yourself? You dumb, nigga. Alright, we gotta be careful. Oh, ain't nobody in here. Shut your bitch ass. Oh, there's water right here. It's water? Hop in there then. I'll slap the shit out of you. Say I won't slap you though. We can run at 30 right now. We can run at 30 right now. Look, you running though. I said we can run at 30. I'm saying, what's the word? Oh, you put somebody in the water. Why are you out there?
Man, y'all got stairs on both sides, folks. 3, 2. Oh, yeah, put your hood up.
Damn. The dust in his little goofy ass. Dust in his little goofy ass.
Bro, I had to hop over shit.
I'm not. What's next, chat? What's next? What's next? What's next?
Then, while the group is messing around near a filthy poolside, racing one another and cracking up, the mood shifts in an instant. Commotion erupts somewhere behind them, and 2 gunshots crack through the air. Nobody sticks around to ask questions. They bolt. Thankfully, it appears the whole group got out without a scratch, but this is a stark wake-up call. An empty-looking building doesn't always mean an empty building. So what do you think was going on? Was somebody trying to drive them away? Or were they caught in the middle of something far more sinister? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. The next clip was uploaded on December 23rd, 2023 by the well-known YouTube channel Big Banks. Operated by urban explorer Carter, a guy who makes it his mission to travel across the globe, hunting down forgotten, abandoned locations. Carter has built his following by documenting the remnants of history, pulling back the curtain on both the haunting and the beautiful for his audience to witness through his eyes. In this particular video, he ventures deep into the rural American South, where he stumbles upon a chillingly remote abandoned house one that carries a profoundly disturbing past. The story behind it is difficult to hear. A young girl was kidnapped and held captive in the basement of this very home, cut off entirely from the outside world. She was eventually rescued and returned to her family, but since that day, the house has remained completely frozen in time, untouched from the moment authorities broke through the door to bring her to safety. Every single room reads like a grim chapter of the furniture, the personal belongings, all of it still in place, as though the house itself is holding its breath. But the most deeply unsettling part, the basement, the exact room where that girl was kept against her will. And now Carter is walking into that very space, camera rolling, bearing witness to what remains of a nightmare that was, devastatingly very real.
Down here for this door, so nobody could get out. But apparently, guys, it was right back here where she was found. So it gets really creepy when we see it back here. Apparently they found her chained somewhere in this room, which I don't see where it would have been. There's tarp here for some reason. All the breakers and the cinder block wall. This is just like the most creepy vibe I've had inside of a room before, knowing what was in here, but no telling what actually happened down here. Only the girl would know. It's insane. This is the room where the girl was found chained up. And this might have been like the only blanket they gave her. Looks thick. And maybe that's where the guy kept her.
It's hard to even imagine what must have been going through Carter's mind standing down in that basement, in a room where someone suffered through something truly unthinkable. Just knowing the weight of what happened in a place like that is enough to make your skin crawl. The very atmosphere feels thick with a kind of darkness that no amount of time can fully erase. All we can hope is that the young girl who found the strength to survive that ordeal is out there somewhere now, living a life filled with peace and happiness, well beyond the reach of that place's shadow. The house may sit silent and abandoned today, but the story locked inside its walls is not one that fades easily from memory. And that's really what places like this remind us of. They may appear hollow and still, but sometimes that silence carries more weight than any words could. What would you do if you ever found yourself standing somewhere with a history that dark? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. And as always, stay curious, but stay cautious. The following video comes from a man whose life has seemingly become a constant battle with unexplained activity. If you've seen his previous footage, you'll know he's the same person who claims to have dealt with persistent knocking throughout his house, strange voices imitating familiar sounds, and what he believes are mimic entities attempting to get his attention. But this time, the activity didn't happen at home. It happened at his tattoo shop. Watch.
Estoy muy perceptiva, ¿eh? Sí, es cierto, no hay absolutamente nada.
Sigue moviendo. Como si estuvieran haciendo con el dedo para arriba.
¡Wow! Sí, es cierto. Sorprendente. Y como le dije, sí, está marcando bastante. Pero no estaba haciendo así, ¿verdad? ¿Y cómo se empieza a sentir? ¿Cómo se empieza a sentir la vibra? Ah, bueno, yo al menos sí empecé a sentir una vibra medio extraña. Y por aquí tengo unas personas que se vinieron a tatuar. Bueno. Ya se dejó de mover, vean. Ahí como que tantito, pero no. Iguales.
At first, nothing seems unusual. Then, behind a curtain in the shop, something begins to move. Not the curtain itself swaying from a draft, but the distinct shape of something passing behind it. The movement is clear enough that he immediately goes to investigate. The problem is that when he pulls the curtain back, there's nothing there. For many viewers, that's unsettling enough on its own. But what makes the clip more disturbing is the possibility that whatever has been affecting his home may no longer be staying there. Some people believe that repeated paranormal activity can become attached to a person rather than a location, following them into workplaces, vehicles, and other places that should have no connection to the original disturbances. And then came the second encounter. One night, while returning home, he noticed something that stopped him cold. Watch.
No mames, güey. Sí, venimos del parque. Aquí espérenme. No mames. Voy a tratar de no ser fuerte para que ustedes lo vean. Lo puedo hacerlo bien. Ahí se estaba asomando.
Looking toward one of the windows, he sees what appears to be a child standing there, watching. The sight is particularly disturbing because his wife and children weren't even home at the time. According to him, he had intentionally sent them elsewhere while he searched for answers, wanting to keep them as far away from the activity as possible until he figured out what was happening. So, if his family wasn't there, who was standing in the window? Many paranormal enthusiasts immediately connected the figure to reports of so-called phantom children, apparitions often described as appearing around homes experiencing prolonged hauntings. Others believe something more deceptive may be at work. In folklore, mimics are often said to study the people around them, gradually learning what forms, voices, and appearances will attract the most attention. Some traditions even warn that an entity unable to gain a response through sounds may eventually attempt something visual instead. Whether that's what happened here is impossible to prove, but that's the detail viewers couldn't stop talking about, because the curtain figure at the shop and the child in the window may have occurred in completely different places. Yet, both incidents share the same unsettling implication. Whatever he's been dealing with may not be confined to the house anymore. And if that's true, then the question is no longer how to get it out of the home. It's whether it ever intended to stay there in the first place. In the following clip, a group of Spanish-speaking witnesses document a restless night that keeps escalating in ways that are difficult to dismiss. The first comes from a man who got up to use the bathroom just before midnight and noticed something strange at the far end of his dimly lit hallway. A long corridor with a worn checkerboard floor, a refrigerator to one side, and a darkened living area beyond. He says he was completely alone downstairs, and that thought clearly stayed with him as he stood in the doorway, phone in hand, listening. Watch.
Ya había cortado el video, pero escuchen. ¿Hola? Están escuchando, ¿no? ¿Escucharon? Yo me levanté de mis necesidades. Vamos a ver. Me llevo este filtro, se ve chido. Che fantasmita, se ve medio macabrón, Vamos a ver aquí en el baño, console. No, creo que no se ve nada, ¿verdad? A ver, espérame, lo cambio. No se ve nada. No se ve nada, raza. Mejor me voy para acá. Si ustedes captaron algo, racita, pues por ahí. Déjenlo en los comentarios, ¿va? Ahí nos vemos. A ver, aguanten. Si vieron algo, déjenlo en los comentarios, raza.
What you hear in that footage is what makes it unsettling. A sequence of faint rhythmic tapping, then a light scraping or shuffling from somewhere deep in the hallway, and finally a loud series of metallic clinking and rattling that lasts nearly 20 seconds with no visible source. Some viewers familiar with cases like this point to a concept sometimes called residual haunting, the idea that a space can hold onto patterns of movement or sound and replay them involuntarily, like an echo that hasn't figured out it has nowhere left to go. Skeptics would say old houses make noise, especially at night when everything else goes quiet, but the scraping and the rattling are two very different kinds of sounds, and they happen in sequence, which is harder to attribute to settling walls or a drafty hallway. He asks his viewers in the comments if they caught anything he might have missed. The second clip comes from the same man, also awake deep into the night. Almost 4 a.m., he says, lying in bed when his gaming chair suddenly lit up on its own. Take a look.
¿Qué tal, jinetes? Buenas noches. No puedo dormir, me siento un poco mal. Estamos aquí descansando. Perdón, hija, ya le desperté. Se acaba de prender mi silla. Solita. No hay manera de que eso pase, porque se prende con control. Pues todo está apagado, obviamente. La computadora está apagada. Esto siempre está así, que es como la tarjeta madre y está prendida siempre. Pero la silla se acaba de prender solita. Así nomás de bueno. Neta, de la nada. Se prendió así sola. Como ven, raza. ¿Ven que el otro día dicen ustedes que se movió? Que cuando me levanté yo, se movió la silla. Bueno, pues ahorita se acaba de prender. Son casi las 4 de la mañana. Ahí está. Y repito, no hay manera de que eso haya pasado porque se prende con control. Y de hecho, pues el control está allá. Acá. En esa cajita. Ahí está el control. Y mira. Ahí se prendió solita. Vean, de hecho les voy a mostrar. Para que no digan que yo lo tengo acá. No voy a hacer ningún corte. Nada más para levantar. De hecho lo voy a apagar aquí. Aquí está el control. Es este. No. Es este. Chequen. ¿Ya ven? Así es como se aprende. Y el control, ustedes vieron, lo acabo de sacar acá. Este sí yo lo dejé así, el micrófono. Yo lo voy a apagar igual. Pero la silla estaba apagada así. Y de la nada se prendió. ¿Qué opinan ustedes? ¿Falla técnica? ¿O alguien se quiso comunicar? Los leo en comentarios.
He gets up calmly to demonstrate something important. The chair runs entirely on a remote control, and the remote was sitting on his desk across the room the whole time. He cycles through the colors to show it works, then turns it off and sets it back down. Some would argue a power fluctuation or an electrical fault could trigger LED strips under the right conditions, and that's a reasonable explanation. Others think electronics activating on their own in the middle of the night, especially in a quiet house when someone can't sleep, fits a pattern that investigators call intelligent response, where something in the environment reacts to the presence of a conscious person. But before you pick a side, if you look closely, a shadow figure passes through the chair, and to some people, that's a connection to the chair moving. But that's not all they've had to deal with. Another night, the couples are lying in bed, both listening to something terrifying. Listen closely. In Mexican and Latin American folklore, agitated animals near a home at night have long been associated with the presence of La Llorona, the weeping woman of legend, said to wander near darkened places searching for her lost children. Her approach sometimes heralded by restless animals before anything visible appears. Whether that connection feels meaningful or like pattern matching is up to you, but the sequence, dogs going frantic, then something striking the glass from outside, is exactly the kind of buildup that gets under your skin. In the next clip, the man replays footage from a previous night he spent in a cemetery and explicitly names what he believes he encountered there. Watch closely.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Aguanten, 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 aguanten. ¿Pasó algo? Hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Aguanten, 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 aguanten. ¿Pasó algo? Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Aguanten, 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 aguanten. Déjame saber tu opinión en comentarios. No olvides regalarnos tu like, síguenos y comparte.
Between two brightly lit mausoleums, a tall, slender, dark humanoid figure moves quickly from left to right, appearing from behind one structure and vanishing behind the other in less than a second. The narrator calls it La Llorona outright. describing her in the original cemetery clip's audio as something both seen and heard that night. In the traditional legend, La Llorona is a tragic figure from Mexican folklore, a woman said to have drowned her own children and been condemned to wander eternally in grief, haunting riversides and dark places, her weeping heard before she's ever seen. Whether the figure in that footage is a person who happened to be walking through a cemetery at night, a shadow cast by the mausoleum lighting, or something that belongs to that older story remains a mystery. Now, in this next clip, a man films himself moving through his home at nearly 2 in the morning after being woken by something he can't immediately explain. He's already holding his phone when it starts. Loud, aggressive knocking at the front door, 5 rapid strikes, then 7, then 3 more in a row, each series harder than the last. Watch.
Son casi las 2 de la mañana. 1:52. Escucharon, me están tocando la puerta. Aquí. Voy a cambiar la cámara para grabar. No hay nada. A la verga. ¿Quién es? ¿Quién está ahí? Le voy a llamar al policía. No mames, no hay nadie. No hay nadie, güey. A la verga. Hay una atrás de mí. Oh, no mames. Ya me voy a la verga.
He opens the front door, scans the porch, pans left and right, and finds absolutely no one there. The yard is empty. Whatever was knocking, it wasn't waiting around to be seen. He moves back through the house, catches his own reflection in a mirror, and visibly recoils. Then, the piano in the living room plays a single loud, discordant chord on its own, and when he turns toward it, the brass doorknob on the closet beside it starts rattling violently, shaking like something inside is trying to force it open. He opens it, just cleaning supplies. Then, a child's ride-on toy car rolls out from a dark doorway and stops in the middle of the hallway entirely on its own. He keeps filming. He walks into the kitchen, and the doorknob on the door leading to the garage begins rattling just like the first one did. He opens it and steps inside. What builds across this footage is exactly the kind of escalating pattern that makes cases like this harder to dismiss. Multiple phenomena, different rooms, different types of disturbances, none of them repeating the same trick twice. But it's what happens in that garage that seals it, because if you listen closely, you can hear it. A clear, sharp, disembodied male whisper saying, "Vait," which translates directly to "go away" or "leave." Some think the whisper changes the nature of what's happening entirely, because poltergeists aren't typically understood to speak, and a presence that issues a verbal warning carries a very different kind of intent. Skeptics argue the variety of events across one clip stretches credibility, suggesting a staged production, but his reactions track consistently from unease to outright terror, and he never stops filming. Whatever was in that garage with him, it didn't just want to be noticed, it wanted him out. So the real question isn't whether something was there, it's why it was so eager for him to leave. In this next clip, a lady films from underneath her covers in a dimly lit bedroom. The camera shaky, the room quiet except for something she can't explain. She claims she's been awake for 3 days straight, and if you listen to what's been filling the silence during that time, it's hard not to understand why. Watch. A dark figure briefly appears. It has a pale face and a dark silhouette, standing still just long enough to be noticed before slipping out of view again. At first, she figured it could be a hallucination caused by extreme sleep deprivation, which is known to trigger vivid visual distortions, especially in low-light environments. But after this video, she's starting to think otherwise. In folklore, this type of presence is often associated with so-called night watchers, entities described in various traditions as figures that appear during the deepest hours of the night, when a person is most vulnerable. In other legends, similar figures are tied to the idea of threshold spirits, said to linger near beds, doorways, and corners of rooms, places where visibility is weakest and attention slips first. Right now, the only question she's asking is how to get rid of it. So, what do you think? The following clips come from two separate homes, but they share the same unsettling pattern. Something moving through a space that no one can see, making itself known in ways that are hard to dismiss. The first was recorded by a home security camera on the night of April 16th of 2023, just after 11 p.m. The room is empty, lit only by the infrared glow of the camera's night vision, and at first it looks like any ordinary living room. A kitchen island, a couple of stools, a small cat sitting calmly on the floor. Nothing seems wrong. Watch. The stool slowly slides away from the island on its own. Then, a few seconds later, the jacket draped over it drops straight to the floor with no one near it. Those two events alone would be enough to unsettle most people. But then, from the far right doorway, a tall, semi-transparent shadow figure emerges and begins walking slowly and deliberately through the room. Some viewers think this is a classic residual haunting, energy replaying itself through a space, unaware of anyone watching. Others believe it's something more interactive, something that moved the stool and dropped the jacket before revealing itself, almost like a sequence. Shadow figures with that kind of humanoid form and deliberate movement are sometimes referred to as shadow people, a term used in paranormal communities to describe dark entities that appear solid enough to perceive but transparent enough to pass through physical space. The cat's casual, unbothered exit from the room is the detail that stays with you. Animals are often said to sense presence before humans do, and yet it simply walked away. The second clip is a very different kind of encounter, louder, more immediate, and personal. The man is inside his house at night when he and his partner in the other room both hear a knocking sound that seems to be coming from beneath the floor. He grabs his phone and heads outside into the rain to check. Listen closely.
Heard it too, right? I'll be right back. What the? It's raining over here. We just heard this knocking sounding. It sounded like it was coming from underneath the floor. God, why does this keep happening? It was really, really freaking loud.
As he touches the wooden crawlspace panel on the side of the house, 4 sharp rhythmic knocks ring out from the other side of it. When he opens the panel and aims the camera down the long, dark crawlspace, the knocking comes back. Then, without warning, a single enormous bang erupts, sending him backward in shock. What makes this harder to explain is that the crawlspace is visibly empty. Nothing's in there. And yet the knocking returned clear and deliberate right as the clip ended, as if whatever was inside knew it was being watched. So what exactly responds to being touched from the outside? And how does he stop all these from happening? The following video was recorded inside a family's home. A quiet, carpeted bedroom, a floor mirror against the wall, soft light coming through a sheer curtain on the far side of the room. A toddler girl, no older than 2 or 3, is standing with her back to her mother's camera, singing softly to herself, completely at ease, swaying, lost in her own little world. For about 30 seconds, nothing feels wrong at all. Then, it does. Watch.
What's wrong?
Hey, what's here?
No one's here. What happened?
It's you.
You scared? What?
Mid-song, she just stops, turns her head slowly toward the curtain, and something in her body language shifts in a way you don't expect from a child that age. She turns to face the camera, her expression serious, and tells her mother she's scared. Then she points directly at the corner near that curtain window and says there's someone over there. The mother confirms no one else is in the room. Many believe young children, especially toddlers, are more attuned to things adults simply can't perceive. Others think it's imagination, but that shift, from singing to frozen to pointing, happens in seconds, and it's hard to explain away. What do you think she saw? Now, in this next clip, a young woman is resting inside her apartment late at night when something in her room sends her into a full sprint out of the building, and she doesn't stop until she's outside on the street, gasping, hands shaking, camera rolling. Watch.
I don't know.
Once she's outside, she finally stops, and that's when she turns the camera up toward a second-story window, her window, where something is standing in the light, unnaturally tall and walking around the room like it owns the place. Some viewers suggest it could be a trick of perspective, shadows stretching across the room, furniture distorting under light. But that explanation struggles to account for the movement, the way the figure moves, the way it carries a form that doesn't break apart like light usually would. Others lean toward a more paranormal explanation, suggesting it could be something tied to the apartment itself, possibly the presence of a former occupant, something that remained behind and now occupies the space in a way that overlaps with the living. But even that theory raises questions, because the height of the figure doesn't quite align with something familiar or human, making it feel less like a lingering presence and more like something entirely different. And that's where the discomfort settles in, because whatever she ran from didn't follow her out. It stayed behind, moving inside her apartment as if it had every right to be there, but with no further updates and no explanation that confirms what she saw or what remained in that room after she left. This encounter continues to sit in that space between possibility and uncertainty, with no clear answer in sight. The following video was recorded by an overnight caregiver who'd been noticing something strange in the home where she worked. Every night, around the same time, sounds would start moving through the house. Shuffling, creaking, the kind of noises that made it impossible to stay asleep. Now, this particular home had a female patient who, according to her medical situation, doesn't walk. So when the sounds kept coming back, she decided to do something about it. She pretended to fall asleep, hid her phone beneath the covers near the couch, and let it record. The room stays dark, and for a while, nothing seems out of place until something, or in this case, someone appears in the hallway. Watch. A woman emerges from the far corner of the hallway, hunched forward at the waist, feet planted apart, completely still, staring directly toward where she's lying. She doesn't move. The caregiver says she stayed like that for over an hour. Many viewers believe what they're seeing is something that goes well beyond a medical condition. Others aren't sure what to believe, but that image, that stillness, is hard to explain away. Now in this next clip, a mother named Cora is dealing with something that's been shaking her household for a while now. Her young daughter has been suffering from night terrors so severe that the family has decided to move. It's the middle of the night, just past 2:42 a.m., and after her daughter woke up screaming in distress, Cora got out of bed to walk her back to her own room. The child is quiet now, but that silence feels heavier than the crying did. As Cora follows her daughter down the dark hallway and into the bedroom, she notices something that stops her mid-sentence. Her daughter has gone completely still, staring at the far wall without saying a word, then starts to cry. Watch.
be scared, baby. Come on, you're pickle. Come here, pickle. Pickle. It's okay. There's the vent right there, baby. See? The vent pushes the door. You're fine, okay? Are you big girl? You're scared, just remember. Baby Lenny's here, Mommy's here. We're all gonna be together in the same house. It's gonna be okay. Let's go to bed. What's wrong, Cora? Sweetie, what are you afraid of? You're scaring me, honey. I don't see anything.
The window suddenly closed violently, and there was no wind, no storm, or anything else that could explain the force. Many viewers point out that the child seemed to already know something was wrong before it happened, standing frozen and staring directly at that window for several seconds beforehand. Others think she'd sensed it all night. But you be the judge. The following video was recorded by a man working a night shift at what appears to be an industrial or commercial facility, and from the very first few seconds, something about the way he's filming makes it clear he already knows he isn't alone. He's shooting from a hidden position, wedged behind a door frame, camera trembling in his hands. Watch. A dark humanoid silhouette can be seen in the window frame. Head and shoulders, clearly shaped like a person, holds for roughly 2 seconds, then snaps back and disappears. Whatever he just saw, he's seen it behave this way before, and that alone makes this unsettling in a way a single random anomaly never could be. Some viewers think it's a person hiding and taunting him, but others point out the figure's movement is too fluid, too deliberate, and that the darkened shape doesn't quite match the proportions of anyone who should be there. That question doesn't get answered because the same man, or someone connected to this location, ends up back on camera again later that same night, this time inside a security room, checking the monitors, clearly shaken by a fresh round of sounds he can't explain. Loud knocking and banging echo from just outside the room, but every camera feed shows nothing. He moves into an adjacent locker room and sets his phone on the floor. Watch closely. If you look closely at the boot, you'll see it moving like someone trying to turn from one direction to another. But the thing is, no one was wearing the boot. Then the doors start opening. locker after locker. A lot of viewers who've watched the full footage describe it as one of the most sustained, escalating sessions of unexplained activity they've ever seen. Not one event, but a cascade that keeps building until it becomes impossible to stay. What would you do? The following footage was captured by the security camera in Jorge Cruz's house. During a quiet night, everything is still for several minutes until this happens. Watch. That chair slides backward and rotates on its own. Smooth, deliberate, covering a foot or two before stopping completely. Then a shadow moves across the room, but there's no one in the room. Some viewers believe it's consistent with a residual presence, something that doesn't know the space is empty and is simply continuing to interact with it. Others aren't convinced and point to the possibility of a wire just outside the camera's frame. Now, Jorge Cruz decides to try something he's been told might help with the activity inside his home, lining the doorway with salt to keep whatever's there from crossing through. He explains the plan directly to the camera, pours a thick, unbroken line across the threshold, then turns the lights off and waits. That cross on the wall flips upside down. Not gradually, not with any buildup, just instantly inverted with a heavy thud. And then the salt line, the one Jorge spent time carefully laying down, disappeared, creating a clear gap in the barrier he built. By the end of the footage, the rocking chair in the corner has started moving on its own, slow and steady, with the doll still sitting in it. A lot of viewers in the comments believe Jorge made a critical mistake, not in using the salt, but in announcing it out loud first, essentially telling whatever was there exactly what he was doing and giving it time to respond. Whether the activity that followed was provoked or had already been building to this point, Jorge himself seems to believe the salt didn't stop anything. It only made it worse. Now, if something in that room was willing to scatter a protective barrier and flip across in the same night, the real question isn't whether the salt worked, it's what Jorge does next.